Mobile sports betting has been legal in the state of Ohio for about, what is this, November?
More than a
So
year.
almost a year, right?
Yeah, about a year.
BetQL is here to help you make the most informed bets possible. You can see all of today's best bets. Go to BetQL.com or download the BetQL app. Claim your free 3-day trial today. Head to BetQL.com/news/923 The Fan, where you can get all your exclusive sportsbook offers.
It is always game day in Cleveland. He's Daryl Ryder. I'm Andy Baskin. Thanks for being on board with us. And we also really want to thank everybody who's watching us on YouTube. We've had a lot of fun, letting you in on where we are. Where's Andy this week? We know Daryl's going to be sitting in the studio, although he was in Seattle, and sometimes we're at the stadium. But we want to thank our friends at Smiley One, who's outstanding. They are unbelievable. And their friends at Bryant as well. So Bryant and Smiley One, Northeast Ohio's premier heating and cooling installer. So Daryl, let's jump into a question that you asked today. And I thought it was interesting. How can the Browns get more out of their wide receiving core than 2 touchdowns from Amari Cooper?
I have no idea. Throw him the ball, I guess.
That's your answer. That's the wisdom, the Mensa-like power between the ears of Daryl Ryder. You asked the question. What was the answer?
That was the equivalent of the answer I got.
We have options. We have options.
Yeah. It's not real good. Here's the funny thing, because I was looking at the numbers, because I asked that question on behalf of the Baskin and Phelps show, just so you know.
Well, thank you, Daryl. You're a good man, because that has been a big thing in the back of Jeff's
on a weekly basis, you hit me over the head with a sledgehammer about that. And
it's not me; it's my partner. You know that, right?
Elijah Moore has 29 catches this year, by the way, which is 6 fewer than Amari Cooper. That's the good news. The bad news is Amari has 617 yards, whereas Elijah Moore has 270. There's no explosiveness when they throw the ball to Elijah Moore. And that's a problem. So, I don't know. What they did this offseason doesn't seem to really be working all that well. I asked Kevin Stefanski about that on Wednesday as well, because we all got excited, myself included, when we're seeing how Elijah was being used and running around, coming out of the backfield, all this other stuff. Motion.
He was the champion of Greenbrier, right?
Well, he was the training camp MVP. And now in the regular season, none of this crap's working. It's just not. And anytime it does work, flag on the play, comes back, right?
Holding.
It's the run game right now. I'm looking. He's got 8 carries for 11 yards. His longest run was 19. So do some math there. Do some quick math on that one.
I can't. I don't do math.
So I was told there would be no math. That means if you take away the 19-yard run, right? Which obviously you can't, but I'm gonna do my inner Butch Davis here. You take away that 19-yard run. That means on 7 carries, he is a combined minus 8 yards.
Yeah, that's not good. Hang on. I got my calculator. Yeah, that's not good.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, and Stefanski, said that the offense is the passing game is built around Amari and Elijah and David Njoku and the running backs and all that. And when you look at the numbers, Andy, outside of Jerome Fort, your top receivers on this team this year, here are the numbers. Amari Cooper, 35 for 617, 2 touchdowns. David Njoku, 32 catches, 319, 2 touchdowns. Elijah Moore, 29 catches, 270 yards, and that's about it. Jerome Ford, 20 catches, $139, and a pair of touchdowns. And then that's it. Then it just completely disappears. Your next leading receiver is Donovan Peoples-Jones, who no longer plays here. 8 catches for 97 yards. Kareem Hunt, who is still here and used to be used in the passing game until this year, he has 6 catches for 58 yards.
Nick Chubb's got to be in there. I think he had at least 2 catches.
Nick Chubb has 4 catches for 21 yards.
Was he next?
No, he's ahead of Marquise Goodwin, though, who has 3 catches for 10 yards this season.
That's unbelievable.
And he's ahead of Harrison Bryant, who has 3 catches for 7 yards. Pierre Strong has 2 catches for 30. This is just, you're right. The production is not great. But they're 5-3. They have found a way to win 5 football games by having very minimal production from people catching the football, not named David Njoku or Amari Cooper. But that is something that I think that they're going to have to address. What amazes me is how effective Amari has been, Andy, despite being like the worst.
The only guy that everyone has to really have to cover, right?
Like, it's just in. The Browns are throwing the ball to the guy wearing the number 2 jersey. That's where the football is going, right? And he still, I mean, he still beats corners and safeties on a regular basis, gets behind them, and is able to make plays. He did it twice against the Arizona Cardinals. So, yeah, I wish I had an answer for you. I don't. I don't know what they do. We talked about this on the midday show. Like, this is par for the course for the Cleveland Browns. Whether Kevin Stefanski's the head coach or the 20 other guys that came before him in the expansion era. And I say that tongue in cheek. I know it's not been 20 guys, but like, this is the way it's been. The Browns offense has been hot garbage the entire expansion era, with the exception of like 3 seasons.
The Hoyer year until Alex Mack got hurt and
Johnny took over.
When Johnny took over, when you had Jaravicius, Winslow, and Edwards,
2007,
that was a good year.
2007, 2020, those were really the big scoring years for the Browns. The rest of it's been hot garbage. Like, every team in the NFL scores 400 points with their eyes closed except for the Browns. Like, it's a struggle bus every year to get to 400 points.
Sure.
And that's even with now a 17th game on the schedule. So, the Browns aren't scoring a ton of points right now either. They're right now at 181.
They're still over the plus, though.
Right.
Like, I think only the Ravens and the Browns.
The Browns are giving up 139 points per game. But, yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know how they fix that. But thank God for Amari Cooper, or else this passing game would be really, really, really awful. And look, maybe Deshaun, maybe getting Deshaun back, maybe Deshaun helps Elijah Moore, right? Because let's not forget, there's 4 or 5 games there, Deshaun wasn't on the field.
Right.
It was Dorian Thompson-Robinson or PJ Walker. So maybe that plays a part in this whole equation. I will say this, because there's just been a boatload of criticism being thrown around at the Browns and Kevin Stefanski and Deshaun Watson and all this other kind of stuff. Like, the morning show threw something out there like it on the station Twitter account of like, have we already seen the best of Deshaun Watson? Like, I just feel like it's too early.
I don't know how you can say that.
We
We've seen the best of them already.
This year. We need to see how this year plays out, right?
Yeah.
Before we start sitting here and talking about, was the trade the worst of all time and this, that, and the other. Like, let's give this thing an honest chance. Like, last year really doesn't even count, right? That was a throwaway.
Right.
That was
I'm with you.
A throwaway year. So, and he got hurt this year. So let's see how he finishes. Let's see how the team finishes. Let's see what this offense looks like. I just feel like the sample size is too small to be painting with a broad brush right now, whether the trade for Deshaun was a success or an abject failure, or if Deshaun has already played his best football and his career is going to go downhill from here and stuff like that. Like, I think it's too early for that. Can we play the rest of this season before we start worrying about this stuff? Like, they are 5-3. If the playoffs started as we have this conversation right now, they're in
they're not even the bottom team.
No, they would play.
The Bengals are.
Yeah, they would play They would travel to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars on Super Wild Card Weekend.
Well done, marketing, man.
But like, I just think that and I get it. Like, we all have our hot takes and stuff like that, but I just think the time and place for the hot takes. And right now is not the time for the hot take that Deshaun sucks and this trade was an abject failure and the worst in the history of the franchise or the NFL or whatever. Like, let's see how this goes. Hey, Deshaun could go out and throw for 350 yards as I'm sitting here crapping all over their chances to beat the Ravens, right? Because the Ravens defense is really good. It's right there neck and neck with the Cleveland Browns defense. And to me, that's the attraction of this game. Which of these two great defenses is going to win this game on Sunday? Is it going to be the Browns or is it going to be the Ravens, right? which quarterback is going to find a way to pick apart one of these great defenses? Will it be Lamar Jackson or is it going to be Deshaun Watson? Right. So I just, this is a fascinating game. I'm very worried because of the condition of the Browns offensive line, but there's a lot of unique storylines going into this second matchup between these two teams.
And I've got a good one for you when we return on It's Always Game Day in Cleveland.